Alrighty, here we go. And I need to actually, I need to open up the, actually I don't need to. I can just drag it in from here. So let's just do this. Let's do 1000. And I gotta figure out what I want to do now. Because I've got my summer info panel here. Drag that in. This was spring. This was winter. And last fall was this. So, got those. Off to the side here. I do love those colors, but I want to do something. Please don't tell me you're going to take. Okay, good. It's like, please don't tell me you're going to take forever to save that. Move that a little bit closer, but not too close. I would like to, and you can see over here, I've got the archive of all of them. This one I think is still my favorite fall. Hey Omar, welcome to the stream. Wait a minute. Did I? Okay, good. I was like, did I undo my mic? There we go. I'll make sure I did. So I've got these over here. That was summer. There's a spring, winter, another fall. This one was the favorite fall because I love that little scarecrow. So I gotta think, because it's got to be fall, but it's also got to be, it's got to cover Halloween as well as general fall season. So it has to last. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. There we go, back. This is what Beanie is looking at. She's looking at the box lunch bag. But I was able to confirm today that quite a few of the things that we have online with box lunch are also now in physical stores. So that is super exciting. It's just kind of crazy to think about. If you're not familiar with Box Lunch, it's a sister store to Hot Topic, and the whole theme of it is it's a softer general pop culture, and so they'll have like Studio Ghibli stuff, they'll have Disney, they'll have Marvel, they'll have Snoopy, they'll have Harry Potter, they'll have pretty much any type of pop culture property you can imagine. And I was able to get into the stores. Let's see if I can. On there a little bit more. She's a little hard to fit on the screen. But yeah, so I met one of the buyers last year at Comic-Con. We started working on getting some stuff into the stores, and those are finally rolling out this summer. And then I met them again. I've got some other new stuff to work on, and but yeah, let me I've got a couple of pins, but I also have this keychain. It's actually not a keychain, it's a wallet, lanyard, badge holder, but it could also be a wallet because it does have this little snappy thing and little pockets here. But yeah, this is Coconut, and she is that little bean right there. So it's kind of crazy to see her sitting on the shelf next to properties like the Powerpuff Girls and Disney and Totoro. It's crazy, but yeah. So those have dropped, and those are in store and online as well. And I think they extended their Labor Day sale. So yeah. So that's my plug for box lunch today. So what I'm going to do now is, what I think, I've got to think on get some air, neck. I got to think, I don't want to do what I did last year. But I do love those ginkgo trees. This is walking through, and that's a good general fall illustration. What else could I do? I've done pumpkins. I've done a lot of pumpkins, I feel. You know, that one's a pumpkin and a fence. That one was a little bit, you know, and that was before I really started. So pumpkins and a fence. I did the leaves and the scarecrow. Loved that one. That one's still a favorite. So how do I want to, how do I think if I could edit the original. Can I edit the original of this and grab my, yeah, it's a PNG. I thought that's what I did. Nope. I think I started doing that here. Let's see. No, I did not start doing it here. Okay, well, never mind then. One more try. Okay. Let me just find the right file. Let me just do it the right way. It would be under cat in a box, yes. Well, she's not in a box. She's pressed up against a box. She's kind of, I'm not sure. I'm not sure her theory on her current position. So I think I did the original around May. Move around, find out. I only switched summer info in June. Okay. I guess I was a little bit late with that. All right. So what I need to do is I need to grab this. I can hide that. And we can sketch. And then I'll actually add another layer here, and this will be on the absolute top, but we're gonna do the line art on that layer, and I'm still gonna sketch over here. All right. Let's see. Maybe I'll do a classic Momo with her backpack if she's doing an adventure. Last time it was strawberry picking. That was Granny Bear. And then we had flutes. This will be nice. Kind of like they're going into a grove or a grotto or something like that. A little bit like this, but I don't know, a little bit more. I wonder if I could do, you know, I feel like purples and greens are really Halloween-y. I could kind of play around with the colors a bit and see how I can change this a little bit so it won't be as samey. I feel like I'm most successful when I try to get out of the habits that I fall into as I'm drawing. So let's give this a go. Okay. Kind of feeling like maybe entering into this wooded area over. I feel like I should draw this. And I definitely need to be off of this layer. Get on the right layer there. I usually draw these much anymore, but I want to show the curve of the land. feel like that might help inform my drawing decisions if I do that, but clearly is not. Maybe these lines are too complete. I think I need to have more rugged patterns on this path. I think that feels better. That feels a lot better. Sure if I'm gonna have this foreground element kind of blocking the way, but I'm gonna have a floof standing here and then possibly another foreground element. I think I will. I probably won't even have that shown. Let's put these. I think I'm going to group this too, just to be... I feel like I don't want to have that not easily erasable and selectable. With my foreground element is actually... What if I do something like this? Maybe like a fern? Definitely should do that. one thing I've learned is that I feel like a problem with some of these, especially when I'm looking at illustrating plants and stuff, I try and make them too perfect. I don't include little bug-eaten edges like this, and I need to work on that. I need to. I think it was Aaron Blaze. I was watching one of his live streams, and if you're not familiar with him, he was one of the I don't know if he was a director or lead animator, but he was pretty deeply involved in a lot of kind of 90s era Disney animated films, Brother Bear and quite a few others. And he does live streams. He was talking about illustrating and kind of a key to conveying reality is like if you're, and he gave the example of a Saharan desert, not a Saharan desert, but like a plain in the Sahara, or no, yeah. But anyway, so you've got this plain with a bunch of grass, and not all of the grass is green and lush. There's an underlayer of dead grass from the previous season. And you can kind of see that when you're looking at trees too. Not every single leaf on the tree is green and perfect and pristine. Some of them have been nibbled on. Some of them have little brown edges. Some of them are getting ready to fall. Some of them are still just at the bud stage. And it's kind of recognizing that and working that into your illustrations that can add that little decay, a little bit of decay and stage of life that can add some realism to things. So I kind of want to keep that in mind when I'm doing mine. What if I do maybe cut? Cut. Cut. think what I might do here at the bottom is just go full silhouette. Although that might disrupt my little cut there, but actually it's not too bad. Let's examine this other side here and jump. Oops, I didn't mean to jump out completely, but I do need to say. What do I want over here? I do need something. I'm going to have a floof here. It would make sense to have some other of these same plants, but maybe just on a smaller scale, maybe something like that. Just pointing the way gently. I'll go over here and I'm going to put in some of those silhouettes. Oh, I need to group this. It'll make it a lot easier to color later. Even though a lot of this is not going to show up because it'll be blocked by the info, call to action at the bottom. But in the regular illustration it will, so I can go ahead and complete it. And if I am vigilant would be the right word. I am detail oriented enough, I might be able to turn this into a wallpaper. But I'd have to draw something, I'd have to end this in a cohesive way up here, because I'd need a lot of that. And I could, I've done it before, I just kind of let the leaves trail off and then just use the color to draw it up. Hey Jack! Wish I could sketch that well, but I ended up with a bunch of scribbles. Hey, that's how you gotta do it sometimes though. That's how you learn, with a bunch of scribbles. All right, let's rough these leaves up a little bit. I'm going to bring that down a smidge. There we go. Let's bring in there. And let's get these guys a little bit of some character. Maybe there was a bug that was just eating on this side of the plant. This side looks good. I'm gonna have some dinner and lunch and breakfast. Spot where Illustrator decided to not listen to me. So sometimes when I am working, at a really low point size, and I draw curves like this, let me just show you. It may do it. Yeah. Sometimes it decides to jump from this point to this point and do that. But I really only found that happening at lower point sizes. So, and if I'm operating on a bigger canvas, I of course bump everything up, but it's just an interesting little thing that I've never really determined if it was a driver issue or if it was an Illustrator issue. So I think that's a nice detailed front area to this little forest that we're going into. How was your weekend, Jack? Hope it was nice and pleasant. Oh, I forgot, I'm gonna have a floof right there. I can adjust it a little bit. Really quite sure what. Thinking of a color scheme. I really like that shape, but this little knot right there needs to be smoothed out. I might end up having more room than I thought. I'm gonna go ahead and group Momo here. It was okay, nothing too special. Already looking forward to next weekend. I hear you there. She's going to be behind this hill. I could put her over here and give a little bit more room for the other characters. I've got to remember the text is going to be up here, call to action down here. I think that would be a good balance. So let's move her over just a bit. And then we'll make my point size a little bit bigger. Not that big. Let's point her face up. Go. And I need to fix this a little bit. Bring this down. Bring this over. Kind of make it look like it's curving over the face. My first time here, excited to see how it all turns out. Oh, thank you so much. Let me tell you a little bit actually about what I'm doing. So this is gonna be, let me zoom out here and save. Go. So for my Instagram comics, I have a call to action panel at the end of pretty much every single one, and I update it for the season. So this is the last 4 seasons that I did. This was the summer one that I'm still using this week, but I will start using this new one on Friday because I already got my repost scheduled up. But this was summer and strawberry picking and kind of outdoorsy, kind of bright, fresh colors. Spring, I opted for Granny Bear and Boop because they had never had a central place on the info panels before. I thought that would be really cute, that they're just kind of enjoying that fresh spring breeze. And then this was winter, floofs making snow floofs. I thought that was a fun one. And I love drawing the little birds in there as well. And then last year's fall panel was this one. I usually like to incorporate some sort of a nature scene, like walking through the woods or walking through a meadow, just to kind of develop the world a little bit more, to show these different glimpses into this place called Cozy Town, which is where they all live. And but yeah, so that's what I'm making right now. And I'm wondering what color scheme I should do, because I do love the kind of jewel tone fall colors, but I think I kind of want to break a little bit. I feel like one of my strongest, or the strongest ones that I've done break either in color tone or camera angle. So like this one, yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Let me just drag this out. Come on, there's my mouse. So this is one that I did for Christmas one year. And the kind of bird's eye downward angle I thought was really successful and interesting. And then the glow and not typical colors I usually use. Same with this one. This one was another downward angle, like you're up in the trees looking down at the characters. And I just kind of went wild with all of the golds and oranges and pinks, just to give a very whimsical, almost enchanted forest walk feel to this. Those are two of my favorites. So I really want to lean into the things that I think were successful there. I don't have the different camera angle, but I feel that I can push on the color. I can challenge myself there on this one. So I think that'll be the challenge this time, is the color. Maybe, I feel like I love the greens and purples and oranges. I've used that for several fall illustrations, but I think it fits more Halloween-y. And I don't want this to be just Halloween because it's going to have to go through November as well. So it needs to be sort of general fall, but I'll see how I can work some of those colors in. If I decide to move more around, I'll drop her completely. And she needs her walking stick. And I was also going to add in her backpack, since I haven't done a backpacking mole in a long time. Living in Cozy Town. So excited to see what colors you come up with. You'll be coloring this in the stream itself. Possibly, actually. I'm really... I mean, I only have these characters to draw and then the trees across the top. So I actually possibly will get into color. I don't usually get into color on streams, which is... sad, because it's a lot of fun to do that. But usually I'm doing a lot of line art work. But yeah, I should be able to get to that. I might bring this in a little bit, actually. It feels more like a walking stick. And I can move her paw up a little bit too, because I feel like the paw should go like right there. Get rid of these direction lines now. And possibly this. Let's bring this up and I'll draw her tail, even though it's probably not going to show. Oop. Yeah, that's a little wonky for the tail. Let's try something smoother. There we go. Oh, interesting. I'm looking up at my monitor here, rather it's here, but even though this is physically bigger right here, having that distance, I can kind of see it better. So that's with Ramon, and she's going to be kind of coming up behind this hill. And then I have these characters here. Let's see. I might move this down a little bit. kind of grouper. Don't know. Hey Chris, welcome to the stream. Should bring this paw down a little bit. So like she's kind of arm back. Kind of behind your shoulder maybe. Up here. So that's enough. This will be a mouth. So excited. That, and we're gonna place this thanks. Hey, hello! Well rested after the long weekend. Happy to hear it. Good to see you. Alright, so let's get rid of some of these guidelines and my overlaps and just a tiny little shoulder spot there. And I shouldn't worry about this because it's all going to be behind this stuff here, but just in case. Better to have drawn too much than too little. And plus, I can always easily grab and push these guys back behind this, which I might actually do. That feels smart. That feels smart. Let me go ahead and do my groups. So I've got that in a group, I've got this in a group. Take out Mo, take out Coco, and now I've got the middle ground. So they're kind of in middle ground anyway, but they're in the back middle. So I'll figure out what shape I want to use. I would guess that the shape of these bunches of leaves would be around like that. Aiden, hello, welcome to the stream. I want to use my ginkgo leaves again, but we did that last year. Branches coming this way, it would have smaller and smaller, maybe sections like this. Maybe over. Do this, come through like this, and maybe another big set over here. So this one is kind of a layered approach. And then if I bring another section down here, let's get rid of my scribbles. Well, now let's, so I'm trying to think of, so these guys, let me just do a rough, so I'm going to have the foreground, which is going to be these leaves, trees, and plants are going to be in the highest contrast of line art. These guys are going to be medium contrast. Well, not medium, but high, but you know, like maybe a step down. So you can see a little bit of distance. You can already see a little bit of distance now. And then I'll possibly have some elements behind them that have no line art that are much more desaturated. Maybe some light effects. Maybe I'm going to bring the sun in here. So maybe have this, that could be interesting, dappled shadow maybe here. I could bring in the warm and cool that way. Let's go into this group. So I'm just go ahead and do no, I don't want to leave a little open. But if I bring this up like that, maybe I'll try and draw that in. I like how just kind of flat across that is though. What if I tip this a bit? That's a little better. That's a little better. Oh, they are two different trees. They just... Maybe this connection point is... a little bit more filled in. All right, let's step back a bit and let me, oops, I need to go to my sketch layer and we're gonna move this sketch out so I can see things clearly. I could do that play on light, but I need to be careful because I don't want it to look like they're entering a haunted forest, more just like, maybe like Totoro's forest. It's magical, but it's not malicious. Oops. And let's hit save. And let me see. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna have to recenter this over here. You can't see. Let me just do this. All right, so you can see that is where the info is now. I'll probably center it and make it bigger because I have that room across the top. But I just always like to check to make sure that what I've got in here is still works. So I can hide that and delete that. And let me go ahead. If I want to light them from behind, palettes do I want to work with? Let's just do some light. White shadow in here. I'm thinking the light will be coming in, so actually this will probably be and so too will her arm, mostly, except for maybe that little bit. If the light is coming in this way, thinking about sun right here, coming in this way. So it's hitting over her head, on her shoulder, a little on her back, but then her shadow cast is going to be here. And I'll need to go stronger on those shadows because we're going to try to not paint with spit today, as Maurice Noble would say. And I'm going to leave the shadowing on the ground for this group. I'm just going to keep her coloring contained because in all likelihood I'm going to color separately in each of these groups, and then I'll just drop the groups in a layer. I'll layer her behind this one. Same with coconut, so that's why I have them mostly complete. If I want to shift them around a little bit or make them bigger, smaller, I can do that and not be, having to fill in stuff that, I haven't drawn because, oh, I thought she was going to end right here. Speaking of which, let me just draw on her footers here. There we go. I'm going to say this back leg, it's under her body. Yes. And she's fully out in the sunshine, so she'll have less contrast because she's fully in the light. She's not as close to this shadowy area as Momo is. Thought I had the leg up a little higher than it should be. Now let's do just a small bit of shadow. No, it's not going to be seen. Hey. Alright, now for this area, I'm going to group this whole thing. The coloring just started, eagerly watching. Yeah, it's kind of... It's kind of funny for me. I spend the most time on the line art. I like it the best, but it's, whenever I get to the color, I'm always happy to, get to that stage, even though even though it's still, color still intimidates me quite a bit. I was thinking I wanted to, what the heck? What are you? Why are you there? I was thinking I wanted to put just trying to decide if I want to put kind of a shadow over the top of this, or if I just want to have my fill be dark, because it's kind of the same thing. I think this should be a much darker value, is what I'm trying to get at, and this should be I do something I don't usually do. I don't typically color in values to start, but I kind of want to because I am doing something different. I'm trying to get a strong color story, not color story, but I want to make sure that the values make sense before I start putting a lot of splashy color everywhere. Because as long as the values make sense, I mean, I could make neon colors and it would look okay. But as long as the values are out of whack, then no amount of color can save it. So we're going to focus on values for a minute. And I'm going to do the same thing. Same thing over here. I probably should have, just filled the whole thing in. I wanted to have a floofing here, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have some of these. And I probably will make this darker. And maybe make this darker to have contrast. And now we can get to a little bit too that's mid-range. I don't want that. That to my colors. And then since these are this will definitely be interesting. Do it like this. Kind of playing in the area I want to play in. Where I want to do it. I also want to try thinking of this in terms of 70-30. So 70-30, so it's either 70% light, 30% dark, or 30% light and 70% dark. So if I keep this light here, I think that would offer a good contrast there. And looking from these, I think these colors are okay. But I could just make it like that, just a touch. Hold on just a second. All right, sorry about that. I had to take a client call real quick. One of my freelance clients had some questions for me. So, all right, let's move over here. I'm just gonna run with it. We'll just see how it works. We're gonna give it a shot. And if I do it this way, I've already, you know what, I'm gonna be tricksy. And I'm going to paste that in the back, and then I'm gonna put this on it, and I'm gonna do this, and then oh gosh, that's gonna be extreme. But let's just stick with it, because I can always change it. Let's change. B, B in back, and let's hit that with the same, but also make it 100% and do this. I did say I wanted to work with purples and greens, and I've got purples and greens here, so we're gonna go with it. We're gonna roll. We're gonna roll. Alright, there's that group. And let's come in here. Let's do the same thing. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to send it to the back. I am going to hit it with a gradient, but this gradient is going to be, oh, I like that. That's snappy. That's snappy. I like that. I like that. Okay. We need to make it 100%. Alright, we're going to do the same thing in back. 100%. Grab this. Ooh, let's not quite make it like that. I needed to probably do something like that. Did I just get rid of my... Copy. B. There. There we go. Now I kind of want to do that for here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Nope, wrong one. That way. If it's fall, would it still be green? I can put fall colors out here, maybe. Because that would warm it up. This is cool. Because you're kind of leaving the warm into the cool when you're entering fall anyway. Make that little extra. Here, I'm going to come in with possibly some of these over here. Oh, you can't see it because it's blocked by the beam. Well, just hang with me for a sec. And I think I might also interesting going on here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just draw that up over here. Now that's not a strong difference. Oh, that's, wow. I wonder, do I really want to do that? Or do I want to do something like... put that at the top and perhaps... well, that's what I had before. That's going to be weird looking. How about this? Like it's going into darkness? Get it. Not what I want. How about the opposite direction? That won't make sense going into the woods. But I kind of like it. Kind of like the funkiness of it. I'll send these guys back. When I fill this in, I can work greens and golds with them. This is going to be wildly different than anything I've colored recently. There, I would like perhaps this, perhaps not. Really, I'm not completely sure what I'm doing here, but we're trying it, so. Oops. I'm going to have to really balance this. That green was not the right choice. Oh, hold up. Oh. Yeah, that's kind of nice. But I'm gonna have to bridge that gap, I think. And then I'm gonna have probably this really like this right here, like this. But bringing that with the purple and the green, I'm thinking I might have to switch the purple to a red. This look like? It's kind of cute. So I could do some little bits. Friend, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? I hope you had a lovely weekend. Long weekend. Fully aware that most of these are going to be covered by my foreground. I'm just trying to make it look cool. And I'm struggling because I'm not used to these colors. Doing fine, I just got home from work and my Labor Day weekend was fine. Oh, wonderful. Very happy to hear that. Gonna have to let this sit for a little bit once I get most of the colors laid in and just think about it as I am with all that confidentness right now. Something over here. Ah. Alright, out of that group, and let's come over here to Coco and Pete. And this is easy. I'm just going to give blue color with the middle brown leaves. Maybe a nice bold one too. And mouth color. Let's work with, you know what? I'm not going to pull from Coconut's normal colors. I think I'll pull from the palette orange over here. Well, maybe I shouldn't do that because, I don't know, I think it kind of works. But I didn't pull from the palette colors for normal. I could switch over to here. We'll see. We'll see how it works. The greeny, let's just do that. Saying that brown is a little too green. This is a little too green as well, but you can always change it. The beauty of having things grouped, you've got colors and stuff that are easy to change. And then I'll just go with standard coconut fur white. It is on the warmer side anyway, so alright, I'm going to jump out there. And that's nice, that's good, that's good. Alright, so I need a sky color. I could take this. I'm not sure I like that. Don't like that either. I like that the most of them all, but I'm still struggling with this. And I feel like this needs to be brighter back here. There's my stick. And then I need to come in here and examine the gradient. Something with that purple and that it's just not working. I could. What if I did that? Still not doing it. A little bit weird. I think the line art is possible. And then what if I went in here? Possibly. That could possibly work, maybe. Let's jump out. Better. Better. Okay. All right. All right. I feel like I have... oh shoot, I need my line art color. Add you to my palette here. So let's add that to the palette, and I'm going to jump back out here, come in here, and I'm going to select all. And we're just going to switch. And that almost. Getting there. We save, and I'm just gonna certainly never done. Do a trick here. I'm gonna put a box over the top, and we're gonna do which. Trying to remember the way to get it. I think it's this way. Kind of. I still have values. It's just this is a little bit less. I feel like the background needs to be oops, I didn't mean to do that. Add that in, and I'm going to try something. I feel like on this way I think I can go a step darker with that line art. I wonder if that would help. Oh, that's better. That's better. That's better. Okay, okay, okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. And so now with this, I think I want to come in here and maybe do a gradient to have a more stark and bright sky. So I'm going to come in here. So those are a lot of the, this looks too dark though. Hi Tux, what are you doing? I'd like to do a gradient here and here. Brighten it up a smidge. Oh gosh, that's toe beans. What you doing, Beanie Meanie? Oh, you need more heat. Okay, she's just turning over. So I'm also going to put glowy leaves, all that good stuff in here. I like the green, and I like that maroonish. Sky is what is. Yeah, maybe I should just start putting in colors. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Bless you, Tux. It's dark. A second, I'm gonna let him out. That's an interesting one with the orange. It looks like my mic has been off for a while, so I don't know how long it's been off, but I know I shouldn't even bother putting in my phones because he's gonna be wanting out in just a second anyway. All right, let's see here. Got an idea that could be interesting. Just bring this little goldy light in. Getting there. Maybe. If I blurred these. I think it's a good touch, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it needs to have some gold to it. That's a little better. I already know I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to mess with this a lot. And that's not what I want to do, but I'm trying. I don't even know if that's really what I'm going to do. I kind of think it's not. But it gives this kind of magical glowy yellow light, but I don't know if that's the magical glowy yellow light I want. So if I jump out of this group right now and put my, yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's good here. It's just so, I'm going to have to think about this one. I don't think I like how muted it is. I mean, it's definitely something that can work, but I just am not sure if I like it. And then I'll have to edit this. middle. And actually show up because it's not showing up there at the top. I could fix that by making this I think I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit, and I might mess with the colors later. I just need to think about this because I like it, but there's something I'm not. All right, go ahead and save this. Glad you like him, Catherine. I want a little more oomph, and I'm not sure how to get that. I'll figure it out. I might just do like a glowy something here. But it is soft and it is fall, but I've got to think about it and maybe add a little bit more. We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I'll go over to my ending screen. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm glad I got to color something with you guys for once. Usually it's just line art, so that was good. But I will be back on Thursday with comics, and yeah, I haven't written it yet, but it'll probably be starting with fall comics and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Catherine D, Chris. Let me see, Aiden, Jack, any of my lurkers. I hope you guys have a great Omar. If you're still in here, I don't think you are, but thank you so much for joining me. Always wonderful to have your company and chat. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.